So the bag on the screen is the bag that we are going to be drafting pattern for in this class. I'm also going to be using it to explain to you how you can arrive at the gussets and how the main panel comes together. So the bag is also an example of this. The description of the bag that I just showed you on the screen matches that of this. That is, the front and the back is what forms the gusset. These are the cardboard papers that I'll be using for this pattern, and I will make this the main bag. So you have to know the dimension of the bag that you want to sew for. So for the dimension of this bag, for our length, we're going to use 12 inches. For the height, we'll use 8 inches, and for the width, we're going to use 5 inches. So these are the dimensions that I'll be working with: 12 inches wide, 8 inches tall, and then 5 inches for the base. I have 5 inches now. What you will do is divide it into 2, and if you divide 5 inches into 2, what you would have is 2.5. So that 2.5, you're going to take the measurements. Okay, so this is half of the gusset. That's half of the gusset, half of the base, half of the gusset. That's what this 2.5 represents. Now you're now going to take your main panel, which is 12 inches. We said it is going to be 12 inches wide, so you take that. What we have here is 2.5. What we have here is our length, which is 12 inches. So we are going to take the height of the bag. Now the height of the bag is going to be 8 inches, like we said. This is now the front of the bag. This is the exact size that we need for the front of the bag. This is the gusset. So we also need the gusset here as well. So we also take 2.5 inches to this side. So you mark your 2.5 inches here as well. The base of the bag is going to be 5 inches wide. So you take 5 inches. So after that, you take 8 inches from this line as well. 8 inches. So this is what we have for the pattern that we drafted. This is our 12 inch. This is our 2.5, which is half of the base of the bag, which is our width, half of the width. You put it here, here and here as well. Okay, so we don't need this. We also do not need this. We don't need this. We don't need this box. So we are going to cut this box away, and we'll be left with this. So now let me cut this out before we do that. So now, using a real bag to explain, this is our 12 inches. This is the 12 inches. This is the front of the bag. This is where it gets to, and this is where the gusset starts from. So this is this line. This one, from this place to this place, that is the front or the back of the bag. Then from this place to this place, it is half of the pattern of the bag. That's half of the gusset. So this is half of this gusset, this is this, okay, and then this place is this. So hope you are getting it now. Now this base right here, this is what is here, and this front here. So if you put this now and you wrap it around this, you will see that it will give you almost the same thing as this. So this is how the pattern for this bag is formed, including the gusset. So let us cut out this box. Like I said, we do not need this box. This is our gusset, that is all we need. So we cut this off. So you see what it now looks like. This is the base, the front, and the back. So the bag that we are trying to make is not only straight downwards here, it's also pushed in, so it is slanted. It's not as straight as this, and also the side is also pushed in. So we are going to make some manipulations to this in order to make the bag look like the one we are trying to replicate. So now this is the front panel. We are taking this as the front panel, and it is not straight. Like we said, the bag is not straight, so that means the bag looks like it is wider at the bottom than at the top. So we're going to take 1 inch inwards here, that's from this line inwards, and then you take 1 inch inwards here as well. You do the same thing on this end, 1 inch, and then 1 inch. So the side as well, you are going to reflect this slant on this end as well. So from this 1 inch line that you took, you're now going to take 2 inches to the sides, 2 inches, 2 inches. So from this 1 inch line, we are taking 2 inches. So now the 2 inches is what you're now going to slant. So you're slanting it towards the base. So this 1 inch as well, you're slanting it towards this bottom point, okay, towards the bottom point. You're slanting it towards that point. You're going to need the lines. So this is the 1 inch line, 1 inch inwards line. So we'll have to cut this one away, this one out here, we'll cut it away. So I'm just going to fold this up so I can cut the two at once. So this is what you would have. So what you're going to do next is to fold along this line. This line. So this line as well, you want to define it. So we're going to be making a prototype out of this, and this is just to test your pattern to see maybe what you drafted works. So this is what we're going to have. Okay, so you see that it's already looking like a bag. So you're going to apply your glue here, and stick this together. But before we do that, let us cut the flap for the bag. So the bag is not just going to be open like this, there's going to be a flap covering it. So let us cut that. We'll be using this yellow cardboard paper to cut the flap for the bag. So you're going to take on this your front or your back, whichever one. Where do you want your flap to get to? So wherever you want your flap to get to, you're going to determine that. So I think my flap, if the bag is getting here, that's the front, I think the flap should be good halfway, and halfway means that the whole height is 8 inches, so halfway means 4 inches is okay for me. So I know that my flap is going to be 4 inches, and I'll take what I have here at this top. So what I have here at this top, the length is 10 inches. So the length I have here at the top is 10 inches. So I'm taking my flap to be 10 inches length. So you mark that. Then where do you want your flap to get to on the back of the bag? So 2 inches just does it for me. So I'll take 2 inches. So I'll demarcate this into lines, into different parts. So I'll take 2 inches for the back. So the back flap is 2 inches. That's the one we are going to use to join the flap to the body of the bag. Then the top of the bag, what do we want the top of the bag to be? So I think 2.5 does it for the top of the bag. And then for the flap, we said the flap is going to be 4 inches. So you take 4 inches for the flap of the bag. So this is the back, the top, and then the flap. So we're going to cut this out. This is what we've cut out. So I just want to shape my flap, just give it a nice shape. You can give your flap any shape to beautify your bag, but I just want this simple curved shape based on the bag we are trying to make. So this is the cover of a soft drink, and you're going to trim. So this is what we have for the back as well. I just want to give it a nice shape. So I think for the back of the flap, I'll just give it a nice shape, really, and you can leave it like that as well. So that we have the same shape on the two ends. So this for the back of the flap. So this is what we have for the back of the flap. So I'm going to mark the midpoint of this and bring this as well. I'll mark the midpoint of this. So bring these two tips together and mark the midpoint of this. Okay, so I just pressed it and I can see where the midpoint is at. So the next thing I'm going to do is glue this flap to this. So I'm gluing this flap to this part of the bag. So you're going to take this line and this tip has to fall on the same place, and then the midpoint here also has to fall on the midpoint of the flap. So now for the top of this bag, the bag we are replicating, the handle is coming out from the top. So you're going to take where you want the handle to come out from, and then you're going to bring out that shape. So we could have also done this before we fix the flap on the main body of the bag. So this is the midpoint of the bag that we are using, and I want the handle to be 2 inches. So that's 2 inches from the midpoint, 2 inches from the midpoint here. So I'm going to mark that into the flap, mark that into the flap as well. Okay, so that means the hole we are creating for the handle has to extend beyond this. So if our handle is going to take 1.5 from here, so I'm taking 1.5 from this line and 1.5 from this line as well. .4, 0.4, that's about half an inch, so I'll mark that. Then from this line as well, 0.4, about half an inch. I don't want it to be half inch, so I just reduced it. And then you're going to mark the straight line. I'll take the cover of my stuff again, and I'll use it to make a curve on this end, make another curve on this end as well. A curve on this end, and then so we're going to cut this out. Okay, so this is what we have, and this is what it looks like at the top of the bag. So we're going to cut our handle, and I'll be using this black cardboard to cut the handle. So for the handle, you're going to take your tape rule. You're going to take how long you want the handle to be. So basically just take your tape rule and place it, and just know how long your handle can possibly be. So I think 13.5 is okay for my handle. So I'll just take 13.5 inches. So I'll cut out by 1.5. By 1.5. So this is the handle of the bag, 13 inches by 1.5, and I'll take 1 inch on both ends. 1 inch on this end, 1 inch on this end, 1 inch here, 1 inch here. And what I am going to do now is to glue it to the bag. So before I glue it to the bag, I'm going to glue this together first, like this, and then we'll fold it and glue to the bag. So let's do that. Okay, so we're going to place the handle here. So I'm following the line, that's the 1 inch line and the 2 inch line that we created. So we are going to gum the main panels of the bag, so this side together and this side together. So you gum this side together as well. So what you have to do now is gum this place together. So you push this side inwards, push the side inwards, and here you have your handle coming out of the top part of the bag this way. So here you have your bag with your gussets. Also do that. So if you're interested in learning how to make real bags, not just paper prototypes, then you're looking to join the handbag construction class. In that class, we teach you how to draft patterns, how to prototype them just like this, and how to convert them into real bags using real materials, hardware, accessories, etc., so that you can make bags like a pro. So pattern is not going to be your problem, prototyping is not going to be your problem, and making real bags that you can sell, that is definitely not going to be your problem as well when you join the handbag construction class. So thank you for watching this video. Do not forget to like and subscribe for more videos.